Today is August 25th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com, presented as always by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, it's been a long week up in Chicago. Four
Yes,
games,
sir.
4 games already in the books. The final one starting here in about 2 hours, a 1:20 start time in Chicago. It's Cardinals and Cubs. Dakota Hudson, Marcus Stroman. Last night wasn't the greatest ball game for the Cardinals.
No, it wasn't. One of my takeaways, however, is that my biggest fear going back all the way to last Friday was that you were going to mess up your bullpen so bad you would have nothing left to take on the Braves this weekend. And that's still a fear, but they've mitigated all those problems, except you have Hudson going today. You could still mess some things up. And here's what's going to be the tough challenge from last night to today for Ollie Marmol is deciding whenever Hudson's done, second inning, sixth inning, whenever he's done, are we in the game and do I go for it or does it not? And I'm telling you, folks, this is a feel thing. Metrics is not going to help you here. Or I don't feel good about getting this one. I got to save my big guns, my big bullpen guns for the weekend. And that tipping point, that moment is going to be the tough one for Ollie today.
The one thing that I think makes any decision a little easier is that the Brewers are back to struggling again. They have had a very rough time out in LA. Right now, the Brewers are off today, and the Cardinals are up 5.5 games on them right now. So you lose today, you're up 5. You win today, you're up 6. Those are both big numbers. Yeah. Those are the last week of August. The last week of August being up this many, that's a pretty good number that you can feel real good about yourself. You can get to the point where you're looking at it and you're going, hey, you know what? Like the Brewers have to look at this as, we got to win, gain at least one game a week, and they're starting to run out of weeks.
Yeah, and to your point, it's a close game. You may say, okay, this is going to be Stratton's game because I got to get the Braves this weekend because you're right. If you do, and I'm not saying you concede or just say we're going to lose on purpose. You still got big leaguers out there, whether it's Stratton or Hicks or whoever. These are big leaguers. Romero, you say, okay, we're going to try and win, but I'm saving my guys. And I think that's a really good point.
The Cardinals and Cubs lineups are both out for this afternoon's game, and here are what they look like. First, for the Cubs, they will throw Marcus Stroman this afternoon. Mm-hmm. They lead off with Zach McKinstry at second base. Big home run last night for him. Yeah. Nico Horner at short. Seiya Suzuki is in right. Ian Happ in left. Franmil Reyes DHing. PJ Higgins behind the plate. Patrick Wisdom at first. Nelson Velasquez is in center, and Christopher Morel at third base. For the Cardinals, Lars Nootbaar DHing this afternoon. Ooh. Brendan Donovan is in right field. Paul Goldschmidt's at first. Corey Dickerson is your cleanup hitter this afternoon in left. I'd have to go look what his numbers look like against Stroman for him to be in the cleanup spot. I know he's been hot lately. Nolan Gorman is at second. Tyler O'Neill in center. Tommy Edman is at third. Paul DeYoung at short. Andrew Kisner is behind the plate. Nolan Arenado had a short night last night. He gets this afternoon off. He should be very well rested by Friday's series beginning against the Braves.
So I'd be interested in, is he a little banged up anyway? Is he emotionally distraught? Is he a little worn out? He DH'd the other day. I'm surprised at that.
Probably a scheduled day off. And we've seen this with both Arenado and Goldschmidt. They've had these scheduled days off. And I said this about Goldschmidt the other day. I wonder if this is the last game off that they're both going to have until something is clinched. I wonder if it's Ollie saying, hey, this is it. Get yourself rested. And I need the next 3 weeks out of you until 3-4 weeks out of you until we have this thing clinched and we know where our postseason spot is.
Yeah, pretty interesting. And then the other thing that's interesting to me is with him out, Pujols not in. I know it's a day game after a night game. I know it's a right-hander, but Pujols has got some decent numbers against Stroman. So with Arenado out, I thought Pujols might have been in there. So interesting take by Ollie today.
That's he loaded it up. It's a lot of lefties out there. I mean, yeah. So he's got them all out there in the game. What do you think about that? I mean, the pretty quick ejection last night of Arenado in the third inning yesterday on that check swing.
He was pretty demonstrative. He was going to get run, I think. I think here's what I think. I think the ump blew the call, and he realized he blew the call, and he couldn't take it back. It was already too late to get help at first base, and it got away from him. And so he just said, that's it. I think the ump just sort of conceded. I blew it, but I'm going to run this guy because I'm not going to get shown up here. And so it's a double whammy. You blow triple whammy. You blow the call, you don't get help, and you let the old not getting shown up deal run one of the great stars of the game out of the game. So I think that was strike three on the home plate umpire last night.
Speaking of umpires, newest episode of 5460, the Joe West podcast, is available now on Spotify and iTunes. This week, interview with Johnny Damon, the former Red Sox, Yankee, Athletic, Royal, and a few others thrown in there as well. Really good conversation with a guy that had over 2,700 hits and 400 stolen bases during his major league career, where he won 2 World Series. And only 1 year on the Hall of Fame ballot, a 1.9% vote in his first year. Kind of got the Jim Edmonds treatment there, with only 1 year on it for a guy that probably deserved a few more years and a little more consideration, I think.
Certainly a winner. That can't be debated.
Yeah. So also, too, something to look for today before the games. Check the socials to see what the Albert gift tracker might be for the game today. This is going to be Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina's final game ever at Wrigley Field. I know they talked about it on the broadcast the other day. Favorite moments, I think, are both pretty clear for both guys at Wrigley Field. It's the Albert Pujols 3 home run game.
Ooh, yeah.
And then the back-to-back Paul DeJong, Yadier Molina home runs off of Craig Kimbrell a few years ago for Yadi in those. I think both of those are pretty much stand out.
One of mine is, and you can help me on the dates and all the particulars. You've got a better brain. And what's great is when you saw it, but also hearing Mike Shannon's call when Pujols was knocked down and then got up and hit a home run. Take that, big boy. That was in the 90s. It was it was Kerry Wood, I believe.
So that would have been with Alberts. I mean, it wouldn't have been in the 90s or in the
2000s. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah. Okay.
2000s. Shannon's call was great, but the moment was great because he knocked him down and he got up and hit one out. Take that, big boy.
Dakota Hudson on the mound tonight. You know what? With Steven Matz, he's making some rehab starts. We know Jack Flaherty's making rehab starts. You don't expect either one of those guys back till September. The Cardinals are going to learn an awful lot about what the next 5 weeks of their rotation is going to look like, I think, this afternoon.
Well, here's what's interesting. Keep an eye on what Woodford does at Memphis, what Hudson does today. Scheduled again, I believe, Tuesday, Hudson. And if he's not good today, do you bring Woodford back up to take that spot? Or do you just kind of ride it out with Dakota and see where – hey, by the way, not everything's negative. He might have a good day today.
Yeah.
And if he does, hangs in there for another spot. I mean, I think that's what it is. You got to go start to start with this guy right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, with Dakota Hudson, if that sinker ball's working and he's getting ground ball after ground ball and they're turning double plays up the middle, you know what? It's going to be a real good day, and he's going to easily get through 4 or 5 innings of a game, maybe more. So
I
it
agree.
just depends on where those ground balls are going, and we will see that this afternoon. Rammer, again, we'll see if the Cubs win today. By the way, that is 7 straight series wins for the Cubs on this season. Right now, they are on a six series winning streak right now, going for 7 here tonight with a win. So we will see how those play out. 1:20 start time at Wrigley Field for Cubs and Cardinals. And we will be back to preview the Braves and the Hall of Fame weekend tomorrow here on Daily Cards Live. Presented as always by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Royal Banks talks about serving each area community, one person at a time, one community at a time. They want to reach out and be partners with you as you look to achieve your financial goals, business-wise or personal. 314-212-1500 to Royal Banks of Missouri.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you tomorrow right here on Daily Cards Live, ClaibsOnline.com.
St. Louis Acura has an unbeatable selection of new cars arriving daily, like the all-new 2023 Acura Integra. We also have a great selection of over 200 pre-owned and factory precision courtesy vehicles with finance rates as low as 1.9% for 36 months with approved credit. And we've added Saturday service hours to our newly renovated service facility. Don't forget, we'll buy your vehicle here at our dealership or from the convenience of your home. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.